Well, it looks a little grainy.
It's just a little
at least
dark.
on our end. There we go. Yeah, it's a little grainy. Oh, there we go. I need to back up so the sun.
I'm gonna make sure it posted them.
Okay. Let us know if you're one of the first ones in here, if you can see and hear us. Okay, this is the first time of us using the YouTube live stream. We've usually used a different program, but this time we're using what YouTube's got. So let us know, jump in the chat and let us know if you can hear us and if we're glitching or anything like that. We're a couple minutes early.
We are.
Just a little bit early. Yeah. But that's what happens. I wanted to test it since we've never used this. I wanted to test and make sure that everything was going to go well for us.
That was pretty easy though compared to what you used to have to do.
I know. Well, it used to be we had to use, was it OBS? Is that what I used? Mm-hmm. Yeah, OBS. We'd have to open it up in that and to try and make sure that both programs were going to play nice with each other. It was a little complicated to get it set up. Once you got it set up, it was easy. But yeah. This was super easy. So let's see. Well, it says there's 2 people. They must be from Facebook. The people that are in here right now, so they can't chat. We have 3 in here right now, so that's good. Let's see. I kind of want to wait till we get some people commenting before we. Oh, there's Weetree. Thanks for being here.
Why don't we?
I always appreciate your support.
So what you could discuss your mustache, and what the plan is here.
That is true. I don't really have a plan. I'm kind of liking just the mustache for the summer. It is a little bit cooler. I'm not gonna lie. I just, so far, I think I've actually shaved it like with a razor twice since the beard has been gone. Thank you, Weetree. She said she's tweeted to show we're live, so that we appreciate that. And then I've used some clippers to buzz it a couple of times too. But I actually do kind of like it for summer. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know. I'm still not convinced on the mustache. I think it looks just a little bit creepy.
But I don't know. I like it. The beard gave me something to mess with and play with, and the mustache, I still have a little something I can mess with a little bit. So I don't know. I'm sure as the days get shorter and it is so 70s looking. Yeah, it kind of is, isn't it? Hello, 180 degrees from average. Thanks for popping on. Yeah. I'm sure as the days get shorter and we move into fall and it starts getting colder, that it might grow out again, but we'll see. How long did I have the beard?
You shaved it before Ivy was born, so 3 years.
3 years.
And you grew back.
So. Yeah, and it just I think it had reached its maximum potential. I don't think it was it may have filled out a little bit more, but I just don't think it was gonna grow any longer. Let's see. Weetree asks, when is the baby due?
I never give out the actual due date because my babies are always late. And when people know the due date, they remind me all the time that I'm late. I don't need that. So I'll just say sometime in the next 4 or 5 weeks-ish.
About a month.
About a month left.
About a month, yeah. So we're in the home stretch.
We are. And I think we're pretty much ready. So.
Oh. Yeah. We tried to put the little ones to bed, kind of, sort of.
Go use the potty.
Someone has to use the bathroom, though. So, let's see. Let me get to the other questions. Hey, now, packing up the microgreens for the market tomorrow. Glad to spend some time with you. That's from John Philblade. So, thanks for spending time here, packing up greens. We were actually talking about going to our local farmers market tomorrow because Saturday is a big day.
We weren't sure if they were open yet. It's got to be. I mean, it's May, so they should be. But we're gonna go check it out. Take the girls.
Yeah, it'd be fun. It's nice. It's nice to chat with some of those folks and hang out.
The only thing I don't like about our local farmers market is it's in the middle of the library parking lot, which there aren't a lot of places to do things, where people can come too easily. It makes it kind of scary with all the kids. Like, you really got to keep everybody right on you because there's people driving in and out real close to the stands.
Yeah, there's the hardware store.
Yeah, and there's a hardware store there. So.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys could hear that, but Ivy just announced that she needs assistance in the bathroom. We're working on that with her, but she's just not quite there yet. Let's see. 180 degrees from average says my beard might not make it through the summer either. Yeah, I mean, so I had my beard through 2 summers, and I told people that I felt like it was a shade tree for my face. It really didn't feel that bad. It does kind of like insulate your face a little bit, but anyway, it does make you feel really grown up and manly when you're working outside and you've been out there all day and then you bend over to work on something and then sweat just drips off your beard. It's just like, oh. Let's see. We Tree Bonsai asks, are we doing a home birth?
That's the plan.
We've done that with the last 2. Mm-hmm. So the first one was in the hospital, Micah was. And then Ivy was born at my grandparents' house.
It's kind of a cool story. We were supposed to have Ivy at a birth center, and we went in because I was in labor, and then labor stopped. And they sent us home, but we didn't want to go all the way home because we lived kind of far away. I mean, it was over an hour. And so we decided, as grandma lived about 10 minutes away, we were going to go spend the day with her. And they had told me that it stopped. It's not going to start up again. Probably, you might have a baby the next day, but people, it's going to stop during the day. It'll start at night. So I was kind of in denial about how far along I was. And so finally we realized that we were going to have a baby. And the midwife had to come to grandma's house, and we had the baby at Sam's grandmother's house.
Well, I think the midwife was at some kind of a function. I don't know if it was a friend's house or what. And I called her and I was like, I really think you need to come. This is like the contractions are getting pretty close and they're pretty tough, like pretty hard now. And so she came and she checked Laura and she was like, yeah, you're having a baby and we're just going to do it here in the tub. So my grandpa nicknamed Ivy Tubby because she was born in their tub.
Yep. And then after that happened, we figured, why were we driving somewhere? People just come to us. So.
Yeah. And so Annie was actually born in the farmhouse. Mm-hmm. We barely moved in here in time.
Yep, we did.
Like a week or 2.
A couple weeks before.
Yeah.
So I'm LMAS T41. I'm still not used to it either. The baby keeps going like this. Annie, which is not really a baby anymore, but she keeps looking for it. So.
Yeah. Let's see.
All right, so we made a big purchase. I don't think we've shown that on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and make a video in the next couple of days. We bought some chicken fence from Premier One, the electric chicken netting, and that's something that I've wanted probably since I was reading books from Joel Salatin, and he was using stuff like that for a long, long time. Something we've wanted to do. It's not cheap, but hopefully it lasts a long time for us. But I have to get our chickshaw rolling a little bit better. I don't want to put all the netting around it and get the chickens kind of semi-confined and then still have to do a lot of work on that coop. So I have an idea, though, to get my chickshaw rolling with some wheels, get it up off the ground.
We found, maybe this is a rookie mistake, but we had a big stationary chicken coop and never really had problems with getting chickens in it. And then he broke it in half to make it lighter and to use the smaller section as a chickshaw. And the chickens, we moved it and they were so confused. Yeah. It was only, 30 feet away, but they didn't know, we had half of it that was still stationary, but it wasn't enclosed at all. It was just like the roof. and they kept trying to go in there, and we were trying to chase them into the coop. So fortunately, in this transition period, we ended up losing all of our ducks because we could not convince them to go in the new coop.
I don't know. I don't know if it was the wire on the bottom. I think the ducks refused to go in. Laura and I spent, I don't know, an hour, 45 minutes one night trying to get them in, and they just would not go. I was able to get some of the drakes in, but the hens, like, they were not stepping foot in there. And so we left them out, and something got them. I think it was a fox. I was pretty disappointed about that.
He really liked his ducks. So we'll probably get some more, but we'll wait until we got our fencing system down and are ready, I think.
Yeah.
So why not just use rebarb under the bottom and put the wheels on that?
That's not a bad idea. I just need to be able to give it more height some way. But I think I have a way I'm going to use some real thick wood and kind of give it some legs. I'm going to put some big bolts in it, and I think it'll hold it really tight. We'll see, though. Everything's kind of a try and see what happens as we go.
Right. Alan says that Premier has the best products, and I think that was something we've heard a lot, and we really decided we were going to save our money and buy the Premier One fence package for the chickens instead of doing an off-brand, or like, Orscheln's or the local hardware store kind of has their own brand.
Well, and even Premier has like a couple different kinds of netting, and our land here is pretty hilly, and so I was reading a lot of, and they even say on their website, to make sure to get the fence that has the connector or the posts closer together if you have hills and stuff, but it's more expensive. But we decided to spend the money and get the good stuff that hopefully lasts a while and does good things for us. So we use their spiral connectors to connect cattle panels together. Oh, that's cool. I like that. Until just recently, we've only just had a car, but we just actually purchased a big 15-passenger van. I am so stoked about that because it's got the big engine. It already has a hitch on it, and so we can actually haul lumber and things like that out here. But cattle panels is one thing that I kind of wanted and needed because they're just so handy. You can put together stuff really quick, but we don't really have any around here. But with this van,
we can go get them. What are we doing for weed control this year?
Yeah, that's pretty much what we've always done.
Finally bought a real hoe though, so I can hoe the rows. I don't know. Sam keeps trying to get me to do no-till. We depend so much on the garden to produce well, and I know I can row garden. I'm just terrified that one year I'm just going to be like, all right, we're going to do this no-till, and the garden, there's going to be a big learning curve, and it's not going to produce enough, and then we're going to have to buy a lot of food, and it's going to be expensive, and so it's kind of like, it's hard work, but if it's a system that I know works, I'm afraid to branch out a little bit.
Yeah, I think maybe what we could do or should do is like do a little 10 by 10 and see how that goes and experiment. And then if that goes well, just make it bigger. But
this
is the biggest garden we've done.
I am doing a Three Sisters, which is when you do the corn, the squash, and the pole beans all together. And the squash is supposed to provide good ground cover to help the weed control in that area. So I'm kind of trying that out.
Weed Tree Bonsai says vinegar works great for weed control. Actually, since we've expanded our garden and we've had that white picket fence around it, and then we have chicken wire on the inside of it to help keep rabbits out. But I need to go along the edge there and pull up. We've got some huge weeds and some poison ivy. I'm just getting over my last bout with poison ivy.
He's very allergic. He just looks at it and he puffs up.
But I need to get in there and clear out the garden before it really goes crazy here with all the rain.
I'd say overall the garden's going really well. I did a calculation error though, and I have this spot now. I was supposed to have corn in it, but I miscalculated how many rows of corn I was going to fit. And so now I got this spot with nothing in it, and we're trying to figure out what we want to plant. But And we thought about putting some watermelons in just for fun. I've never really been successful, but give them another try. But it's too close to my squash plants, and watermelons and squash make each other look funny if they're too close together with like cross pollinating. Yeah. So I can't decide what to plant there.
Pick up some seeds of something fun and try that. Let's see. Alan Rippey says, use dog pens, work great for chicken pens. They can be configured many different ways and moved easy. That's true. Yeah, they're really, really light and they stick together really well. And I tried, let's see, I think before I built this first either section of the chicken pens, I looked online, like on Craigslist, for some used dog pens. And there are some deals out there, but they go really fast. And again, we had a small car.
A way to get. That's been our biggest, not struggle, but obstacle to growing the farm the last 2 years. Is we only own this little Mazda that we just crammed all the kids in the back. But we were really didn't want to go into debt to buy a car, and so it just took 2 years to get to a place we're able to buy the big 15-passenger van now. And we're excited that when we see free stuff like free wood or other farming things that we can go actually have a vehicle you can jump into and go pick it up instead of just watching it go away.
I mean, I fit two like 8-foot 2x4s in that car. Like if I lay all the seats down, I think the most I've been able to put in there are like 10 or 12, which is kind of nutty for a sedan. But sadly, that car kind of gets used like a farm truck a little bit. You know, we've had hay in the back and everything, but that's everybody. I think.
Hey, Karen, thanks for joining us.
Let's see. Oh, Weetree says, rent a U-Haul moving truck. They rent about $20 a day. That's true. That's a good point. If we needed to get something, what I've done when I picked up our simple pump, we had a video of that a couple weeks ago now, I guess. It was a really good Craigslist find for us. I borrowed my dad's. He's got a minivan and a trailer, and so we borrowed that to go. Like that was, I felt like that's something we couldn't pass up. It was such a good deal, and I need to get working on installing that. But
hey, welcome, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So, and I totally understand the nasty potato beetles. I'm waiting. They haven't shown up yet, but we had them last year, so they're coming. So I've been checking my plants every day. And our squash plants are tiny, and I already have bugs coming looking for them. So I've been drowning bugs in dish soap and water every day, trying to keep everything alive. So
yeah, that was you did battle with those bugs last year.
The squash bugs were bad last year, but we we had so this is kind of funny too. We grew so much yellow squash the last 2 years that it would stay in the root cellar. I mean, it's good for like 6 months, and I canned a bunch of it. I still have like 20 quarts of yellow squash. And so I told Sam, I said, I am not growing yellow squash this year. And guess what popped up out of our compost pile a couple weeks ago? There's a yellow squash plant growing. So yay.
I mean, we dined on yellow squash for at some points it was fritters, like breakfast, soup, lunch, and dinner. Yeah.
I tried to sneak it into like breakfast hash instead of potatoes.
Yeah, we had so much of it. We were giving it away at church and family and everything. We had a lot of it. Let's see. In Rubino 3, hi from Missouri. All right, somebody from Missouri. Cool. Volunteers. Yep.
I'll let it a little grow if it wants to grow.
I'll tell you what, though, we got this last week. We finally got, was it like 2 or 3 days of rain? We had one really good kind of soaking rain, and that garden it's 2 or 3 times the size. Just like that. It was really
It was a weird spring because when I was starting seeds, it rained almost every day for 3 weeks. It was like no sunshine, and I really struggled with some of my like heritage seeds that we had bought that were a little more finicky than the burpee, which are bred where you could like burn them and run over them and they'll still sprout a plant. And then we had like a month where it didn't rain at all, and I was out there just watering the garden, and it was just not, everything was alive, but nothing was really growing. And then 3 days of rain, and it's like everything is twice the size.
That's something we were talking about. We tried a lot we've never tried any Baker Creek seeds before, really. And so this year we tried quite a few, but they just didn't do well for us. And we know people love them and really rave about them. But I don't know. We weren't
successful. I think a lot of it has to do with right now with being really pregnant and all the little kids. It's hard for me to be able to baby seed to make them perfect conditions. And so the burpee seeds are a little bit more forgiving because they're, hybrids and things like that.
Tammy M says hello from northern Michigan. Yoklahoma Rocks says there's a great relish recipe for yellow and zucchini, yellow squash and zucchini. And then we got $4.99 from 180 degrees from Everett. Thank you. I've got to run, but we really do love watching you all. Keep up the good work. The next time we're down your way, we should get together. Good night. Well, thank you for stopping by. Thank you for doing the super chat. That's very generous of you. We appreciate it. Yeah, next time they came through Missouri and stopped at White House on the Hill. Well, they stopped at a couple different places. They stopped at White House on the Hill, and I think they're Kansas City area, and so that's not too far from us. We pretty much almost live. Not the exact middle of the state, but pretty close to the middle of the state. So we can get anywhere in the within 2 or 3 hours.
Yeah, we're 2 hours from anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
In any direction.
Rocky Brooks says, "Hey guys,
welcome.
Thanks for coming here." And Yoklahoma Rock says, "Heirlooms are hard."
I realize that it's a trade-off. You get more variety and a tastier vegetable, supposedly, but right now we need good and easy sprouting. Maybe in a couple of years we can more messing around with some heirloom seeds.
Right. One thing we did want to say, we're getting closer to 3,000 subs on YouTube, and we're excited about that. I think we're at 2750, I think around there. And so we want to do a giveaway when we hit to 3,000 and just help encourage people to do, to share the channel and like it and thumbs up as much as you can. But we're talking about doing a giveaway, and I think we'd like to give away a set of Lodge cast iron griddles.
Yeah.
Or pans, I guess. We've used Lodge stuff. $27.49 says Rocky Brooks.
Oh, thank you, Oklahoma.
Wow, $10. Thank you so much for donating to the channel. We really appreciate it. Rocky Brooks in southeastern Missouri. There are a lot of homesteaders. There's a lot of channels down in southeastern Missouri. I think we have family pretty close by, and I think if we didn't have family and our that we're really connected to and those people, we would probably go down to southeast Missouri because there's really good land and it's cheap. You can find some real cheap land, and there
aren't a lot of rules. Not a lot of government.
There's a lot of like-minded people and really sweet people. We have a cousin that lives down there. It's beautiful. Oh man, it is beautiful down there. But thank you, Yoklahoma, again for doing. Very generous.
Cheap land, no rules. I mean, that's the homesteading dream, right?
That's right.
You can do whatever you want and nobody's going to come bother you. So.
Right.
I will say, we're not too far from, St. Louis or Kansas City. We're not really like way out in the boonies, but our county doesn't have very many rules and regulations. We can build any structure we want on our property, and I don't have to have anybody come look at it or anything like that.
Tree said she loves her cast iron. We've had our Lodge stuff for like 2 years. Would you say that big one that we've used?
I've had it a little longer than that, but I've slowly been collecting them, and breakfast. I have like a cast iron griddle that sits on top of the stove, and I make breakfast almost every morning on it. It's just nice.
We've got
It's
the griddle,
super easy to clean. Everything just wipes right off.
And a little pan.
So
you made omelets that were really good the other day on the smaller pan. It's like the perfect size.
Our kids complain that we don't feed them cereal enough, and I guess I love cereal because I never get to have them be like, you don't know how lucky you are. Mom gets up and makes you pancakes and stuff. And all you're complaining that you didn't get any Cocoa Pebbles like the other kids.
Yeah. I know. I feel Laura does make breakfast. I mean, 99% of the time she gets up and
the only time they get cereal
us.
is if it happens to be a daddy day. If I have to go to town for some reason really early for an appointment or something and dad's in charge of breakfast, then we buy a box of cereal. So, but anyway, so when we hit 3,000, is that what we're doing? We'll give more information, but it's a set of 3 different size cast iron pans. So once we get there, stay tuned and there'll be opportunity to win.
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, like, I can remember we had so many people, I mean, when we were a tiny little channel that were giving us shout outs and stuff. And I can remember when we had like 40 subs, or maybe we had more. Maybe we had like 100 subs. We'd get like 20 or 30 or 40 views, and to get up to 3,000 subs
it's pretty cool.
That's crazy. So
especially because we've taken a couple big breaks in there.
Yeah. Yeah. Weetree says she just bought her second lodge hibachi.
Fancy.
Laura wants a Dutch oven.
I do.
A lodge.
I do not have a Dutch oven yet. And every year, the last 2 years, we got ready to fire up the wood stove. I'm like, I need a Dutch oven.
Right.
We just never done it. This year, it's gonna happen.
Yeah. Well, they had they had a real. We have Orscheln's, which is kind of like a Tractor Supply or whatever. We have them a lot in Missouri, and they had one on sale at Orscheln's at the end. Well, I guess at the beginning of spring, but it was too small. You already have one that's kind of that size.
I have like, well, it's not. I don't know. It's in an enamel pot. You can use it like a Dutch oven. I cook on the wood stove in it, but it's little.
Well, it can kind of fit a chicken, or a small chicken.
No, it barely fits you can fit like a 2-pound roast in there. That's about it.
Rocky Brook says they have to get a smaller cast because theirs is a big heavy one. Yeah, you get some muscles working that cast iron. I remember my mom. I think didn't she buy you your big pan or?
Yeah, no, I think it was it your mom? Like the first one I had is this huge. It's got to be like 12 or 14 inches. It is big.
Well, and it's like 3 inches deep.
It must weigh 30 pounds. I mean, not 30 pounds, but it's like you have to use 2 hands to lift that thing out of the stove.
If you have something in there, you have to for sure.
I mean, I love it though. I use it all the time.
Well, my mom told me, she was like, I just don't know how she's going to use that. You
gotta have to. My stove our stove is really old. It came with the house, and it's got the old like coils on top of the range. You know what I mean? And they're all like this from the weight of the pan has bent the coils in.
Yeah.
So
let's see. Weetree says I use my cast iron bread pans for many things.
That's also my list. Some bread pans.
You make bread off and on.
So I do. Sam's really. I used to make sourdough bread like every week.
Oh my goodness.
I haven't made it in probably 2 years.
The sourdough, and you put like when it's hot, like you can barely touch it. You drizzle a little honey on it. That's better than birthday cake. Fresh sourdough with a little honey on it. Oh, it's so good. I can pound a whole loaf myself.
So I need to start doing that again. It's good.
So good. Yoklahoma says, like-minded people are drawn to each other, help each other out. Dutch oven. Me too. Yeah. It's true. Oh man, yeah, biceps workout. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Karen says she still has one of her grandma's cast iron. They last forever if you take good care of them.
Wow, that's really cool. Oh, her mother's, yeah. Well, if you're on Craigslist or anything like that, you see people selling them all the time, and they'll say that they're really old, and they just hang in there. And Laura and I always talk. We're like, why do people go away from cast iron? Not my theory is dishwashers, because you can't put it in a dishwasher, and most everybody has one now.
I mean, and there is some, like, if you burn something in your cast iron pan, like, it can be a pain because you have to be careful.
I know it's a little special too because you have to keep it oiled and you get some of that stuff. But anyway, mine are all non-stick now. You have one non-stick that we've had probably since we've been married. I feel like it's 10 years old.
It's in really bad shape.
And it's on its like I have to screw on the handle like once a week.
I'm just afraid, I just need to throw it away because those non-stick pans aren't good for you, really. Anyway, I'm scared that one day, like scrambling eggs in the cast iron, that they're gonna just burn to the bottom of the cast iron pan, and I'm not gonna be able to get it clean. So I always scramble my eggs in a non-stick pan, and that's a really stupid reason. So
hi, Rosanna. Thanks for jumping on here, hanging out with us. They're heavy, that's why. I have a dishwasher, but quit using it. To me, it's a waste of water. Laura,
we've had marriage discussions, haven't we?
We had a dishwasher when we first got married. Our apartment, we had a dishwasher.
And we had a portable dishwasher for like 3 months about 6 years ago.
Yeah,
and it died.
Yeah, some friends were moving. We got it for free, didn't we?
Yes, they gave it to us. Yeah,
they were moving and gave it to us
for a little bit.
But other than that, Laura has not had a dishwasher. We have had some discussions.
We have. Sometimes I just get fed up with dishes.
That's true.
I mean, and the girls. I mean, Micah and Ivy do dishes. But it tends to start off with them really doing dishes, and they get about 5 or 6 plates done, and then it's play in the water time, and you realize that they've been in there for half an hour running the water, and that you only have like 4 plates in the dish tray because they've been in there filling cups and dumping them in.
Yeah, you still have to. We can't quite turn them loose.
Yeah,
you still have to kind of monitor those two. There, or they'll get 4 plates in, and then Micah will come in and be like, "There's just too many."
That's how I feel every day.
There's too many.
So.
Karen says she can still remember her making pancakes on it. That's pretty cool.
You like it when I make pancakes on the cast iron. You feel like they taste a lot better.
Like they're so crispy. They're really good. You fry them in the bacon grease. Mm-hmm. Bacon grease. It's like the key to everything. My eggs always stick. I don't know. Do your eggs stick?
Thanks for watching, Rocky Brook.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for jumping on.
Why?
Do your eggs stick?
I don't know. I'm afraid to try it in the cast iron. I'm afraid if I try it, I'm afraid it's going to go really bad, and then I'm not gonna like be able to clean it. I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh, nasty bacon, says Weetree. Well, I guess it's not for everybody, but we like our bacon around. I'm not gonna lie. Except the girls argue. Well.
No, Mike. Okay.
One wants crispy bacon, and the other wants chewy bacon.
Ugh. She would be happy if we just pulled the bacon out of the package and gave it to her. Like, is how chewy she wants her bacon.
Every morning when there's bacon, she'll sit down and she'll look up at Laura and say, "Is it chewy bacon?" I don't know. I don't know where either of them get that, the chewy and crispy stuff. But bacon seasons the cast iron the best.
It does.
Weetree says lower the heat when you're cooking.
Well, maybe I'll get brave tomorrow and then see.
You can try that little one.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be too bad to clean. Just a little one.
What else we got?
I was trying to think. Oh, well, this was a video from a long time ago. We were talking about our dogs that ran away, and they just haven't come back. Jean and Roy, they were our Great Pyrenees and Lab mix, and we got them from our friends Ashley and Mitch. Mm-hmm. And their dogs run with sheep, and they were great dogs. I mean, they were awesome. But I know Art and Bree, their YouTube channel, they talk about the sibling syndrome. I can't remember that littermate syndrome. Yeah. And how dogs basically, if they're littermates and they're never really separated, that when they're together, they basically block everything else out. And those dogs were like that. We had a we had something in the chicken coop one night, and so I ran out, let both the dogs out. They ran over to the chicken coop. I forgot to shut the chicken coop, is what happened. But anyway, they ran over to the chicken coop, took a sniff, and then just ran off into the woods, and we've not seen them since. So I was really bummed. They were really good dogs. We had a possum in the chicken coop trying to steal eggs. But we do have the younger Great Pyrenees. We had some, we got them from some very generous people from church. And so we're trying to train them right now. And they're at that stage where they're still puppies because are they 6 months old now? They were born maybe around before Christmas, so maybe 7 months old. And so they're still puppies big time. Like, they love to run around and act a little crazy, but we're getting there, trying to calm them down and teach them when they come over to us that they need to sit down and chill out just a little bit. But they're good puppies. They really, Archie, our older Great Pyrenees, we got him as a rescue.
He is an old man.
We got him when he was they think when he was 2 or 3, which makes him like 9 or 10 now. And me especially, won't have anything to do with me. When we first got him, we were living in town, and if I walked into the same room as him, he would just dive into a corner. But these puppies, so I'm not used to a Great Pyrenees that wants to follow me around, but these puppies do. They're really good. We have a good time with them. Oh man.
Anything else, Tim?
I don't know.
We talked about the giveaway. We talked about the garden.
We did. Trying to think any other updates. We're gonna try and work on that. Work on getting our chickshaw working. Get the Premier net up and around it.
Do that.
Maybe tomorrow I might be able to work on that.
So.
Yoklahoma says we're looking for another guard dog and guineas for bugs.
Yeah, we've thought about getting guineas to help with the ticks. Just never pulled the trigger on it.
Yeah, I had friends when I was in high school. They had a farm too, and they had guineas. I don't think they ever had problems with them really, but and watching some people's YouTube channels, they have a problem with them sticking around, kind of. So I don't know.
Yeah, Wheatree says sounds like he was abused. We're pretty sure he was, because you can't like if you lift your hand to go pet him, he goes back like he thinks you're gonna hit him. And he's been with us, 7 years, and still has that immediate reaction. So I think he was not. They found him wandering in the woods. The Humane Society did. So we don't quite know where he came from. But.
Yeah, he was definitely abused before we got him, though. I think by a man. Because Laura, if she walks outside, he'll walk right up to her. But
I think he just doesn't like you because you're the one who trims his nails and shaves him.
Yeah, so he hates that. He doesn't like that. It's like, oh, he's taking care of me. He's feeding me.
Karen wants to know how I'm feeling. The baby is due soon. It is due sometime the next month or so. So some coming-ish. But I feel really good. We were actually talking about this. This is in all 4 pregnancies, this is the best I have. And not that I've had a really difficult pregnancy compared to someone, but I feel really good. Been able to really keep up with the girls. Yeah. And we had a issue really early in the pregnancy that turned out to be fine, but we had to go see like a maternal fetal specialist, and he recommended some stuff like vitamin supplements on top of my prenatals, and I really think that's what's done it, because I feel great.
Yeah, so. I would say this is probably the best you felt too. Although about a week ago you said I'm starting to feel uncomfortable.
I mean, I am pretty big. It's hard.
She's hitting that stage. Can't really sleep in the bed. Kind of sleep sitting up. Kind of.
Yeah.
You had a little bit of a cold.
And so
she
I had to sleep in the recliner.
Just to
couldn't
help
even
with
lay
the
down.
drainage. But
so.
Our neighbors say guineas roosted in their trees but stayed. I have a lot of trees, so hopefully. Yeah. I think my friends' guineas all roosted in their trees. We have friends from church that just got some peacocks too. Those are so pretty. It'd be fun to have those sometime. Just
and you really want a guard goose, is what you're saying.
I do with our chickens. I think if we order some ducklings and maybe some more chickens in the future, we'll probably try and get a goose as well. Laura says most of our eggs are just kind of brown right now, but she says she wants a little more variety. So we're gonna have to get we're gonna have to get a couple different kinds of chickens and have some more variety. But
I really want to raise a Thanksgiving turkey one year.
We'll do that sometime.
No, probably not this year.
Maybe not.
Maybe next year.
Glad to hear you're feeling good. Yeah, this is probably the best you felt.
Yep, I feel really good.
Trying to think. Oh, I don't know. We've talked to. I've said in the last few videos that something we're gonna try and do is fix our shed that's falling apart so we can get a cow. Well, now I'm kind of on the kick of wanting to get some goats. Laura is not too sure about that because she doesn't think she's gonna like the goat milk. I've had goat milk when I was in like junior high or high school, and I wasn't a fan of it then. Well, but I still want to try it.
I'm not a picky eater. I'll learn to like it, but I just don't see convincing the 3 kids to drink goat's milk instead of cow's milk, and because I think it's gonna taste a lot different. Especially maybe the youngest one, you could just, she's only 2, maybe, but I think we would still have to go buy milk every week, either from the farmer we buy milk from or at the store. Even though you're spending all this time milking, I just do not think you're gonna convince them to drink it because they're so used to the cow's milk.
Well, one of the reasons I want to get goats though is that we have a lot of brush.
Make ice cream, not real ice cream.
Wow.
You make ice milk or whatever it is.
But how many times have you made ice cream with the milk we've baked?
I haven't, because we only get 3 gallons a week, and somebody likes to drink 20 ounces of milk at a time and drink a whole gallon himself every day.
Yeah, I do like milk, but I want goats. We've got brush like crazy, and I'm not gonna sit on our riding lawnmower and try and mow down brush with it. We've had neighbors come and brush hog a few times for us, and it really does help. But I'd like to get some goats to help knock that down. So I told her, even if we don't like the milk, I think it'd be worth it just for them to help with some brush control. Yoklahoma says we want to do miniature Dexter cows, meat and milk. Only takes 1 acre per 2.
You'll have to let us know, because we talked about Dexters a few times, and from what we can tell from people we've talked to, they either just love their Dexters and how versatile they are and how much they'll eat anything and can live on like the side of a mountain, or people are the opposite and they don't like them at all, and
it's kind of true.
There's no like middle ground.
Yeah, we've got 2 friends that do cows, and the one friend is like, just do yourself a favor and never buy a Dexter. He's like, they're worthless. And then we have another friend, and she likes her cow, says they're awesome, and so go for it. And I don't know. I think it's just personal preference and what you want to get, what you're looking for out of the cows or your goats or whatever. And I don't know, maybe it's the strain that you got, like who you bought your cows from or whatever. Yoklahoma says rent some goats. I thought about that. Our neighbor just down the road had goats for a while, and I thought about knocking on his door, but he doesn't have any anymore. They got rid of them. They had some little, I think they were pygmies.
Well, I even told him just get some sort of mixed breed meat goat for the summer or whatever, and we'll eat it later. And then we get a dairy cow as well. Everybody all get along, big happy family out in the pasture.
Yeah, but I don't know. I mean, maybe what'll happen is we get goats and we get a cow. And we get the cheese and you get the ice cream.
It's true.
We'll see.
You're the one that's gonna milk. So
our neighbors across the road get meat goats. Well, I guess they do. No, I was thinking they do sheep. I've not. I'm trying to think.
Hey, Homestead Remembrance, you're not too late. We're just hanging out.
Yeah.
Come join us.
Compromise, yeah. I did have some friends growing up that had some meat goats. I've never had goats. That's another thing. I assume I'd like it, but I've never tried it. Have you ever?
Eaten goat? No, I've eaten lamb, a good amount of lamb, but I've never had goat.
I've never had lamb either, but hey, I'm up for trying anything. See what happens. We could get meat, or we could get one of the breeds that does a little bit of both.
Yep.
So I don't know.
We'll see. I think we're gonna have to make a decision, and it's probably gonna come up with whatever he feels like he finds a good deal on. So
I don't know. It's hard because I feel like, I guess it depends. If you're just buying a couple of wethers to fatten up and then butcher, it might not depend that much. But I'm kind of the mind, like, if you, not always, there's always an exception, but a lot of times if you find a goat that's really cheap and a really good deal, or any kind of animal, a lot of times there can be a problem or an issue with them. Sometimes that's like their attitude, or sometimes it's physically, and that's not always the case. Sometimes people, like, they're moving and they have to get rid of their animals. There's always an exception to that, but yeah, I don't know. I've been looking at goats a little bit, and they're earlier in the spring. Like, I felt like the prices were a little high, and people need to get their money's worth out of their animals for sure, doing all that work. But I felt like they were a little high, and I can see them now. The prices are starting to come down a little bit, so I gotta get working on that shed so we can.
Yeah, well, we had to wait. It was another van. Like, we were waiting to get the van so that you could go pick up the wood, because you just can't fit,
Tamian says, got a scoot, have a little one needing a bath before bed. Was good seeing you guys. Have a great night. See you, Tammy.
Thanks for joining us.
Thanks for being here. Yoklahoma says, you only need goats for clearing brush, and that's seasonal, so eat them when done. I guess that's a good point. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. The other thing that makes me a little nervous about goats is I know they're notorious for being hard on fences and just almost being impossible to keep in, and cows can be a little bit easier. We had a couple of, I think there were 3/4 Nubian and 1/4 Alpine does growing up, and we had probably a 1/2 acre paddock fenced off with 5 strands of high tensile wire, and my brothers and I used to play games with each other, and we'd shock each other. Kind of on purpose, but not really. But it would pack a wallop, let me tell you. And half the time those goats didn't care. Like, they would just walk through it like it was nothing.
Good night, Wheat Tree. Thank you.
Yes, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. Homestead Remembrance says, we just got some Katahdin sheep. Only had them about a month or so, thinking about goats. Yeah, there are a lot of homestead people that do the Katahdin sheep. I know.
Is that the hair sheep?
Yeah. So you don't have to shear them. Well, we have the people we got our first set of dogs from. They had Katahdins. Doug and Stacy do, and Farm Alarm. They do too. And I like the fact that you don't, like, they seem pretty hardy. You don't have to do a lot of worming and things like that on them. Yoklahoma says, I say that, but we won't have goats. Little escape artists. I know. For us, we had the 2 does, and so if they got out, we kind of would leave them there, or we would put them back, and they would kind of fix it up. With just 2, it wasn't that big a deal. I was homeschooled growing up, so we were always home. So if they got out, we just popped them right back in real quick. It wasn't that big of a deal. I'm a cowgirl. Cows are easy and yummy. We do like beef.
We do.
We just started buying beef locally from a friend of ours, and we never really ate beef that much, but
Eating a
Laura
lot of
likes it.
steaks.
Yeah,
when you buy a quarter, a quarter beef or whatever, you get a lot of meat.
I mean, when we were married, I'd say the first like 8 years, then I don't know that we ever had steak at home, like ever. But now that we're buying a quarter cow, we definitely get a little bit, so that's nice. What else was I gonna say about the goats? Oh, I mean, with the goats, I could see if you had like a herd of 50 or so, and they're always getting out, that would be a big deal for sure. But just a couple, I don't know. We'll see. I think the premier one, fencing for the goats, would help a lot too. So we're actually working on saving up some money for that too. So we'll see.
So we're gonna have a baby, and then we're going to buy our large animal, whatever it ends up being, in that order.
Yep. Do you raise meat birds? Sorry if you talked about that earlier, since I'm late.
Well, we do.
Not
They're
really.
Still running around the yard.
No. We haven't raised any of like the Cornish cross or anything. The chickens we ordered not when we first moved. When we decided to do animals, we got some Buff Orpingtons. They were a year old, and so we started with 8 hens and a rooster, and then we ordered from Tackle Hatchery. They just had a special deal going on. Well, they'll send you kind of leftovers. So we don't even know what breed we got, and they were straight run. So we had just as many roosters as hens. And so I still have 3 roosters.
We ate some of the roosters because we
butchered
getting mean.
4 or 5?
3. You tried to butcher 5, but Poopsie kept letting them run away.
Poopsie hates birds. And so I was actually impressed that he came over and helped butcher that day, because he hates birds. Any kind of bird. It doesn't matter, big or small. He can't stand them. But I kind of want to do, I don't know. We'll see. I'll be honest, really honest. I do not like butchering. It's not a fun time.
Well, and part of it, we don't have when he butchers, like, you just got a table and some knives, and like, we don't have any fancy equipment at all. So it just takes a long time.
That's what a lot of people are like. But anyway, no, I think we'd like to in the future raise some meat birds and try that. Let's see. I think I saw that video. We have an Andre rooster too. Yeah, we had some that were food aggressive. I mean, I guess every chicken's kind of like that. Poopsie or Poops, love the name. How did he get that name? When he was, this was probably just a couple of years ago, but if you ever watched the movie Monsters, Inc., the kids movie, the cartoon, Mike Wazowski calls his girlfriend Schmootsy Poo. And so I used to call Paul that. That's his real name, is Paul. I used to call Paul that just to make him laugh, or, like if he was in a bad mood or something, just to annoy him, as my little brother, really. And so that got shortened to Poopsie, and then it just kind of stuck. And so that's what he gets called, is Poopsie. That's his nickname. And the funny thing is all his nieces and nephews call him Poopsie.
Yeah. So I don't think Annie knows what his real name is.
Yeah, I don't think so either. They all call him Poopsie. So we do dual purpose chickens, White Plymouth Rock, or the Oklahoma Rocks. Cone, table, sharp knife. Yeah, old school here too. Yeah. I think that's pretty much how most people do it. I can see if you're going to butcher, 100 of them, having the really nice scalder, and then having a really nice plucker, make it go faster. But if you're just doing a handful, it'll still make it go faster. But I just haven't done it in forever. Butchering those chickens, the last time I butchered chickens was in high school, and we had raised a couple of years, I think, in a row. We raised about 40 for ourselves, and then we had friends that raised about 100 at a time. And so in high school, I had butchered a little bit and got decent at it, but I hadn't done it in a long, long time. So it took me forever. We tried to skin them, I felt like
cooked up fine.
Yeah, but I felt like it took longer. We should have just scalded
Yeah.
them and plucked them. So anyway.
I mean, it turned out good though. They were yummy.
We're good. You did the brine with them?
Yeah, I soaked them in a brine for like a day, and then I cooked them like all day in a big roasting pan. It was really good.
It was good.
Are we good? I'm getting tired.
So? Are you getting tired?
Yeah.
Are you getting worn out? All right.
Okay.
We might end it here, folks. We haven't done a live stream in a long time, and wanted to see how people are doing, and it's always nice to sit down and be able to chat. We might try and do these a little bit more often. I mean, has it been a year since we've done a live stream? 6 months?
Yeah, maybe 6 months.
It's been a long time. So anyway, it's really good to sit down here. Thank you all for showing up and commenting and just hanging out on I know it's Memorial Day weekend too, so it's probably not a good weekend.
We just figured, why not?
Yeah, thanks for taking time out of your weekend. Hopefully everybody has a good and safe weekend. I think we're gonna go to my parents' house on Monday, so that'll be good.
Yep.
All right, well, we're gonna end it here and sign off. But thanks for watching. Thank you. We got a couple of donations tonight, and thank you so much for those. It's very generous of people.
Yes.
But everybody have a safe weekend. We'll talk to you later.